podcast. I'm your host E. I got my man Kenny. I got my man Jay. And Jay, tell him what we do.
Hey man, this is where we shoot the shit, talk about everything except politics.
Yeah,
And
man.
today we have a very, very, very special guest, man. We have welterweight champ, podcaster, father from the Porterweight podcast, Showtime, Shawn Porter. Welcome to the
Here we go.
podcast, brother.
Did you say
Welcome.
Did you say entrepreneur?
we got another chill here. Boy, I tell you, these celebrities, boy. I tell you.
Activist. I am not a political activist.
Hey, nah, man. Hey, look, I got one quick question for you, Shawn. So, what was one of your toughest fights? But I want to ask you about this fight. A guy named Norman Johnson.
Oh wow.
So, what was
my debut, right?
Exactly,
yeah.
Yo. So when you went into that fight, did you ever think you would be where you at now?
I think in a lot of ways, especially when my very first fight, the quick answer is no. Never thought I'd be where I was at now. I think along the way, like really, really soon after that very first fight, is I got the plan that I have now. I probably had this exact plan I probably had before I was 10-0.
Wow.
It's everything that I'm doing now. I probably had this plan before I was 10-0. And including I'm connected with Chill. Chill knows that I'm getting into the acting game, and he knows all about that. Even that was a plan well before I was about 10-0. Yeah.
Well, yeah. How did you guys put the game plan together? Because it was so calculated.
Yeah, my dad's we're from Northeast Ohio, born in Cleveland. My dad raised me in the suburbs of Akron. And then when I was a little kid, my dad was still boxing himself, and he could just see the way that the fighters he was at the gym he was at, the way they were being used, the way that they were just being taken to fights. They weren't ready for fights, and he could see that guys were getting hurt. They weren't ready, but they weren't getting hurt. And so that's why my dad said, I'm going to be your manager. I'm going to make sure I protect you. I'm going to make sure you're always ready for your fights, and you're never going to go in the ring at a deficit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's number one. But number two is he could see how hurt those guys was. And so my dad's thing, even when I turned pro, he said, you're not going to be in this thing long. If I see you getting hurt, I'm getting you up out of there. And he said, I want you to retire by the time you're 30. And he said, you need to have a game plan. You need to have an exit strategy. And we're going to put that together. My dad got me with a CPA. My dad got me putting away money before I even knew I was putting away money and all these things. I'm looking at all these different annuities now and all this kind of stuff that other fighters don't have.
Right. Wow.
So we knew what the game plan was going to be the whole time. And the thing we didn't know was how rough it is and how long it takes to make it in the game. I tell everybody now, I say, I gave y'all 4 more years than I thought I was going than I was supposed to get y'all. Because the agreement was you're done by the time you're 30. I retired when I was 34. We didn't know when we first turned. We didn't know how long it takes to get to the big money. We didn't know how long it takes to get back to world championship titles and things like that. So I kept pushing, kept doing what I had to do. And when I put my sights on Terrence Crawford, I said, he's the mark. At first, I thought Errol was the mark. But then when I got done with that fight, I said, it's got to be something else out there. And Terrence became the mark. And I knew. I said, after Terrence, I'm done. I think about 3 weeks after I fought Terrence, I flew down to DC and did some recording for a sizzle reel for a movie that I'm expected to star in. I mean, like I have been working and doing things. Everything that I'm doing now, the broadcasting ain't nothing new with this. The podcast ain't nothing new with this. I think it's a couple of things that I didn't really expect. But then let's go back to what I was talking about before. The CPA and the annuities and the savings and paying your taxes and making sure that you 100% for every fight, making sure that you get your treatments and your recoveries and your downtime and your rest time and your massages. This is all stuff that a lot of fighters don't know nothing about.
Wow.
So what I'm supposed to do? Retire or let's talk about the other side. Keep going and never give this to anybody, but keep going to the point where I can't walk and the point where I can't talk. And then everybody says, he really played the game, everything he had. yeah, I gave the game everything I had, and when I was done giving them everything I had, I was done. But guess what? It's a lot of fighters that don't have what I had. So now what I do is anytime I come in contact with a fighter, I say, yo, you need anything, let me know. I don't want anything from you. But if there's any way I can help you, let me know.
One
I'm
thing
on
you
God.
touched on, you were a boxing activist. Yo, so what was your thoughts in this Rolly fight, man? It just went through with the stoppage with Tony Weeks.
Yeah, the Porterway podcast, man. We talked about it, and the conversation was
Yeah.
something has to change
Yeah.
in Nevada. Something needs to change in boxing, period. But right here in
I
Nevada,
agree.
we've seen too many consistencies with bad scorecards, too many consistencies,
Yeah.
with bad reffing.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is what I told my co-host on the podcast. I said, yo, I said, how often do you have to renew your driver's license? He said, oh, like every 5 years. I said, yeah. I said, guess what? You wasn't who you was 5 years ago. So if your
true.
eyesight ain't right, they know about it. Your license is getting revoked. If you're something wrong with your hearing, they know about it. Your license is getting revoked. Guess what? If you can't pass the written test, your license is getting revoked. Some people got to take actual driving tests. You can't pass that driving test, your license is getting revoked. Who's making sure these referees and judges are qualified to do what they're doing?
That part.
Well, one thing I want. Go ahead.
And the fighters, we get in the ring, don't know who around the ring.
Wow. That's crazy.
One
Really?
thing. Yeah.
Really? Y'all don't know who's around the ring? That's crazy.
Well, I mean, think about it like this. I grew up with Terrence Crawford. I grew up with Daniel Jacobs. I grew up with Gary Russell.
Gary Russell,
the
okay.
whole Russell
DC.
family.
Shout out to DC, by the way. We from the DMV.
That's what we at. Yeah.
I'll be down there next week.
Okay.
Yeah. But I grew up with all these guys. Guess what? All of the referees and judges that's all at all those national tournaments and stuff like that. I go to the national tournaments and see them now. What do they say? Oh, yeah, I remember reffing you when you were 17. I remember reffing you when you were 18. They know us.
Yeah.
The people around the ring now, we don't know them.
Yeah.
They just had the luxury of doing what they're doing because somebody put them around the ring to do it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what's the criteria for being a judge?
Right? Not political here, right?
No.
Not at all.
We talk about everything. We ain't gotta be politics. We don't do none of that, man. Like,
that's
we want you
on though. But
we want
like,
you to
what's
be
the
real.
criteria for being a judge? Like, I feel like anybody can be a judge.
Yeah, why don't you put that out on Twitter and Instagram and send a direct letter to the Ring magazine, send a direct letter to Boxing Scene and all these other big boxing vocalists and things like that. Don't nobody have an answer.
Man, I would say leave it to the fighters.
Right now, you go to the website and all that, ain't nothing on there.
I would rather the fighters be the judges. The fighters, people who are out of
old fighters.
They know what you see. They know the tendencies and everything.
I got a theory, and I know we got 4 minutes. I got a theory, and 100% we getting back on. So don't trip. But here's my theory: a lot of fighters, most fighters, don't have that savings when they in the game. Don't have nobody taking care of them when they're in the game. Didn't get the shots that they wanted. Got the shots that they wanted too late, and the list goes on. The game did so many of these fighters dirty that these fighters don't want to be a part of it when they done.
Oh, okay.
Somebody asked me earlier if I was going to be a promoter. I said, no, I'm not dealing with the business of boxing. I said, but what I can do is affect these fighters and get them the information that they need. I'm not going to waste my time trying to get involved with the business and tell the business, hey, I can help you do this and that. And what they do, they massage and make it what they want to be. No, I ain't about to go out like that.
Yeah. I just got through telling Chill that today when we was recording earlier. I was just saying, like, I'm gonna be 40 years old in October. I told myself I'm gonna take this half of my life and I'm gonna reach back to the youth and help them and give them advice, man. Like I think that's what I can leave, the mark I can leave on this world. You know what I'm saying? When I'm gone.
I did Saturday at an elementary school last week, and that's what the conversation was. I'm here to show you that I started this when I was in elementary school, and look at where I made it on TV. Yeah. You ain't gotta want to be on TV, but whatever it is you want to do in life, start doing it now.
So Showtime, we got a couple more minutes. 2 questions I got for you. The first question: what would you tell the younger boxers getting to the game to have the longevity that you have? What they need to do to secure themselves when they retire? All those things. What's the best advice you can give a young boxer coming up in this game, an amateur coming up into this game and being the next up?
It's a mouthful, but I think I would start with telling the fighter that, especially one that's turning pro, make sure you turn pro with somebody you feel has your best interest at mind. And they're going to always make sure that you get the best that you can get anytime you go out there. Another thing I would tell fighters to do is make sure that before a fight, you're handling your recovery and you're handling your nutrition and things like that. After a fight, make sure you're handling your nutrition, make sure you're handling your body and you're recovering, things like that. But even beyond that, that's when you get your check. Don't just go out and cash that check and spend it. Don't just go out there and put it in the bank and let it sit for a couple of days. Talk to somebody that understands the zeros that you got and what needs to happen with some of those zeros. And I think that's how you, the kind of like the nutshell it. That's how you start putting pieces to the puzzle together and getting these fighters to understand that there's more than just getting in the ring, hitting somebody, getting out the ring, and going to a nice restaurant and buying a nice car.
Gotcha, cool. And the last question I got for you, because I know we're coming down the home stretch. Upcoming fighters, who should we start looking out for? Now that you on this, your platform, you're doing your thing and everything like that. Give me some underrated, undercover fight, or like not even underrated or undercover, but just the next up and coming fighters. Like we know the Devin Haney, Shakur Stevensons, we know those names. Who should we be looking out for?
There's a couple guys that jumped into my mind. You guys know who Frank Martin is?
Yeah.
He's the dark horse at 135. I think
people don't know he's in 135.
He gonna give somebody a fit. To get that opportunity. Then you talking about the youngest of them. What's his name? Shushu, Bruce Carrington from New York.
I heard his name, but I haven't really seen his fights yet.
Kid is
hold up. Don't act like I ain't on here.
Well, because we ain't got time for you. That's
why. Chill. He said he only got 16 minutes.
Hold on. Shawn, you a guest, bro. Be easy. Be easy, bro. Don't start that, dog.
I got you.
Yo, Jay. Don't be trying to slick talk me, because when I call for some backup and some reinforcements,
these two get into it all the time.
Hey, yo, chill. He said he only gave us 16 minutes. We gotta stick to the script. We know how y'all.
All right, go ahead, SP. Go ahead, SP. I appreciate you, my dog. Love you, baby.
Get the sun out your face, man. Get the sun out your face.
Oh, there you go with that.
That's bad production. You know better than that. That's bad production.
Come on, man. You don't waste up. We can't waste your time.
I love it. One more thing. Lomachenko, Devin Haney. What's your thoughts on that fight coming up this
Great
Saturday?
Fight. I really don't think it's a pick'em fight. I think that Devin got the skill, the speed.
That's what I'm saying,
and the intuitiveness to get out of the way a lot of what is going to come at him from Loma. I think Devin. I got a 60-40 Devin, and but I do also think that Loma could possibly be tricky enough, and he also has to be able to maintain a certain level of energy through the entirety of the fight. So that experience, though, when you look at that experience, I mean, it really is lopsided in terms of the experience. So when you talk about one person coming to the ring with what we know he has, Devin has a jab. Devin has true boxing ability where he can bounce out of the way, use the whole ring, whatever he needs to do. But if Loma is able to cut him off and Loma is able to get to the inside, whatever Loma decides to do, is Devin able to switch up and do anything different? I don't know if Devin can truly catch a punch and block it and come over the top with the right hand. I don't really know if Devin can do that against another elite fighter. I don't know if Devin has the ability that if they get to the inside, I don't know if Devin's going to go into a shell defense or if he's going to say, all right, let's rock with Loma. You know what I mean? So I think that Loma's going to force Devin to make adjustments. And then we're going to see what's in that Haney corner. But I do got a 60-40 Haney.
SP, this is what I said, SP. I said, yo, I think Devin got to get him out of there at least by 7. Because if you get in that deep water, Lomachenko it's going to be tricky. Yeah. I think it's going to be almost anybody fight, man, after 7 rounds.
That speed that Devin got, man.
I think he can take him out.
I said decision. I said it may go decision.
I said 10th round TKO. Devin Haney
decision too.
I think I got Devin Haney getting stronger as the fight get later.
Well, yeah, why y'all hating on the white guy?
No, I like
Why?
Loma.
See, why you gonna
I
make
like
about
Loma.
race?
I like
Nobody
Loma.
say nothing about no white dude.
Yeah, I like Loma.
No
Man.
white
I
dude,
ain't-
bro.
no, no hate,
bro.
no hate on Loma.
Everybody hating on nobody.
35.
Yeah. I don't want to stretch the numbers, but
Can't believe this, bro.
like 55-45. You know what I mean? If we want to really, I think it's a close fight. It's gonna be could be fight of the year. Real talk.
Chill said the same thing.
I think whatever happens, we're gonna want to see it again. We're gonna want to see it again.
All right, y'all time is up. I'm out.
Yeah, last one. My man right here, Kenny, always like. Listen, he like Boots Enos. What you think about Boots?
Boots is
Special.
He is the guy in boxing, and he will be the guy in boxing probably in the next. And by the end of the next year, he will be the guy in boxing.
Yeah.
He's gonna be pound for pound for a very long time. He just need that shot, and when you
Kitty
get it, he's taking it flat out. Yeah.
SP,
thank you for solidifying Kenny.
I'm gonna holler at you, man. I appreciate you, dog.
Thank you.
Look, man, it's the Pit Crew. It's the Pissed Off Podcast. I'm E. That's the nigga J. That's Kenny. And before we get out there, our final victory lap goes to our man Daryl Chill Mitchell.
Yeah,
Give us
man.
out, man. What's the victory lap, Chill?
MVP.
Hey, yo, man, y'all see how when I call for recruits, man, once that bat signal go up, you gotta answer the bat signal, player.
Got to.
Got to,
Man.
to answer the bat signal. That's the name.
got to answer the bat signal, man.
Yeah, man.
God bless, man.
That's the name of this show.
Got to answer the bat signal. Yep.
It's the Pissed Off Podcast.
We out. We love y'all.